This random podcast.
Welcome to another edition of This Random Podcast. I'm your host, Rick Sanchez.
And I'm Enzo.
And today, we pose the question, what if Santa wasn't who you thought he was? But today we also have a special guest. And guest, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Bradley Osterman. I'm Rick's brother-in-law. And I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you, Brad. And do you want to go ahead and talk to us about your social media endeavor that you have?
Well, I'm a truck driver, so I post on TikTok and make videos, funny videos about what I do throughout the day and stuff going on in the trucking community. My username is @SuperTrollingTrucker 865, so you can find me on TikTok, and I hope I can make you laugh.
Yep, we definitely heard some of your videos. We jump in, interact, and there are some funny ones. So go ahead and check them out. So we went ahead and brought Bradley on here because we did have a question. Like, what if Santa Claus wasn't the figure that we're all so used to seeing? And we always see the jolly, red-nosed, fat guy, but he's white.
Right.
So Brad's white, so we're here. Bradley, you got to defend yourself. defend the case for Santa, please.
Well, I do got to say, I do like Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola was very instrumental in making Santa Claus white. So we got that going for us.
And that was back in the end of the 1800s, wasn't it?
Mostly for Coca-Cola, it
Coca-Cola
started
old?
in the 1920s.
That was in 1920s?
Oh, okay. 1920 is still pretty old. Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So the story I started looking up, and I want to bring this up first. The actual story of Santa Claus. And we have there's a lot of different iterations of, well, there's like 3 different ones, but I believe the most credible one of where the idea of Santa Claus came from was a guy named St. Nicholas of Myra. And this was back, I believe, in 343, obviously AD.
So is Myra the place, or is it like...
Yeah.
Okay.
So Myra is modern day Turkey.
Okay.
And not Turkey. Gobble, 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 but Turkey. No. It's funny. The question was, during Thanksgiving, does Turkey celebrate Turkey? Or Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah.
Does
Turkey celebrate turkey? Yeah, I remember that one.
Okay.
Just the turkeys that the president
Pardons and then eats?
Yeah.
So the idea was, apparently St. Nicholas, his family, they passed away. He started selling all his riches, and he was trying to give it back to the poor. And one of the things he did, there was a gentleman who had lost his wife, had 3 daughters, and he was poor. And anytime that a girl was going to get married with a man, obviously, I just had to clarify that in today's day, she would the father would have to give a dowry, is what they called, which was an amount of money to buy into the family. And this man had 3 daughters that he wanted them to get married, and they couldn't because they didn't have any money. They were so poor. So the story tells that he put money in like bags. Then I guess that's what it became, stockings. I don't believe it was stocking. It was like in bags.
Okay.
And he threw them down their chimney of this guy, which was kind of the chimney of the place. And he threw it down there for each one of his daughters when they got married, and nobody knew who did it. They found out after.
Okay.
So there comes the idea of Santa Claus coming down the chimney with a bag, putting it into the stocking.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. So if we're saying that he was from Turkey, he probably wasn't white.
I wouldn't think so.
I mean, I've never been to Turkey, but that's that's Europe, close to Asia.
Close, yeah, Middle East.
So, yeah, people over there are kind of brownish, right?
Yeah, definitely. Let's use the term brown. Brown. No, I'm just saying, we don't want to put colors on people here.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were gonna say they're brown and explosive, but sure. we'll just go with brown.
For the record, the white guy did not say that.
That was one of the Latinos. Okay. White guy 1, Latino 0. Okay. Go ahead.
From what I was actually looking at, I was actually looking up the history of St. Nicholas going from being brown to white, and the history of that in between England and the U.S. Kind of changing who Santa Claus was, or St. Nicholas at that time. And from one of the sources that I found, there was a picture drawn by John Pichart in 1810 that depicted Santa Claus as being, or Saint Nicholas as being a white man. And then later on, and John Pichart wanted to have Saint Nicholas Day. I'm guessing in celebration of just being nice to people. And from what I read is that Saint Nicholas Day really didn't take off, but the picture of Saint Nicholas did. A lot of people liked the picture of
So
Saint
the
Nicholas.
image of the guy who was doing it took off, but not the actual tradition.
Yes.
Was it done around the same time that we celebrate Christmas now, or that it didn't specify?
I believe. Let me see. I believe they wanted to do it on. From the picture, from the picture that I'm looking at here, it says Sir Nicholas or Saint Nicholas, December 6th, A.D. 343.
So it was December at least.
Yes,
Oh yeah, it was December. Same amount of
Right.
time. Okay. All right, interesting. And I'm sorry, really quick. You brought up the whole explosive color.
Oh boy.
I just want to make it clear. If you guys don't think and you don't understand what it is to be of a different ethnic background, I know that when I tell people, "Hey, I'm Colombian," immediately people start making jokes about cocaine. Okay?
Yes,
So,
every day.
Listen, if you're too sensitive, I'm so sorry. Maybe this channel's not for you, but we're not trying to offend anybody.
No, we're just
It's all
just
jokes.
joking. Yes.
It's all jokes. All right. So, okay. So let's basically. I want to say one thing here. What countries do not celebrate or do not believe in Santa? Let's put it that way. Believe in
Okay.
Santa, which obviously ties into Christmas. Let me share a couple. Afghanistan, alphabetical order. Algeria, Bhutan, North Korea, Libya, Mauritania, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, Tajikistan, Tunisia, Turkmenistan, and Yemen.
They are mainly in the Middle East.
They're mainly the Middle East, yes.
Right.
That's crazy.
And here's the kicker. There are a few more: Qatar, Japan, Kuwait, Morocco, Oman, Pakistan, Thailand, Turkey. Interesting. But none of these are Christian. They're not predominantly Christian countries.
Right.
So even though, like the thought I was kind of looking at here, even though you may not believe in Christianity, because we understand Christmas more from the point of view of the Bible, the birth
Right.
of Jesus. But a lot of people celebrate Christmas just because it's Santa Claus. Woo. But the idea of Santa Claus came from a patron saint. This guy, man, I forgot his name.
Nicholas?
Nicholas, you're exactly. Thank you. He actually is a patron saint for a lot of people. The image that you were talking about, people still worship that image. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a religion type thing.
Right.
It's got the spiritual connotation to it. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So at the end of the day, Christmas still has, even if you don't believe in the birth of Christ, you're still tying. Santa Claus still has the origins from there. So
Right.
Interesting.
Right. So when it comes to Christmas nowadays, like we as Christians do have the perception that we celebrate the birth of Jesus and all that. But it is a tradition, and also it's a nice thing to do, the whole like gift exchanges, Secret Santa and all that kind of stuff. So do you consider yourself, both of you guys, more of you like to give more or to receive more?
Definitely give.
Gifts, by the way.
Making sure.
Yeah.
When I was younger, of course, I wanted to receive more, but I do enjoy giving to people much more now that I'm older.
So, but do you think you're good at giving gifts, or you're just do you have a hard time coming up with an idea for a gift?
For certain people,
Okay.
I have
All right.
a hard time.
All right, hold on. So Bradley's married. Obviously, we already took this out of the way. Bradley's married to my sister.
Okay.
Is it hard to buy something for your wife? Yes or no?
Yes.
What in the world? I just talked to somebody the other day, and I'm like, yo, my wife is so hard because every time I buy something, it's a failure. I buy something for my wife, and I feel like I bought her something, and she doesn't like it. She
Okay.
may like it, but it comes off like, oh, thank you. And it's like, my head, I spent like 2 hours trying to
Right.
find this thing. I hate shopping, so I
Right.
go and I put everything I can into it. and I'm exhausted by the time I'm over with shopping.
And you're like pissed.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be like, oh, honey, that's amazing. It's like, hey, thanks.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, we were on our way back from visiting my parents up in Michigan for Thanksgiving, and I was going through all the leftover Black Friday deals, and I found a bunch of stuff I thought my wife would absolutely love, and I bought them for her because we don't wrap the presents, but if we buy each other presents, we just give them to each other. So I bought her a bunch of stuff that she likes, and I gave them to her. I hid them in the back of the car and gave them to her when we got home. And I was like, here's your Christmas present. She goes, is this it? And I was like, really? I was like, yes, I got them on sale, but they're very nice gifts. Right. And I know you're going to enjoy them and like them. And she's like, is this it? And I'm like, I can't make you happy.
Yeah. And listen, you're not alone. I asked a good friend of mine, I asked him the same question. He said the same thing. I felt the same thing. So I'm glad. Just know one thing, you're not alone. And guys, if you're listening and you understand our pain, you're welcome to send us a message.
So both of you guys are married. Are your wives better at giving gifts to you guys?
Yeah. I personally, I don't shop my own clothes. I let my wife do it. Very rarely do I buy things. The only thing I buy,
thank God, because your sense of style is terrible.
I'm gonna shut off your microphone. Okay, so the only thing I do is I buy electronics. That's it.
Okay.
Other than that, pretty much everything I'll just let her pick. I'm like, yeah, you get it. That's fine. And if she buys me something and says, "Oh, here, honey, this is yours," I'm like, cool. Like I don't know. What about you?
My wife says I'm hard to buy for. I don't think I am. I'm a pretty easy person. I like going outdoors. I like hunting, fishing, and racing cars. So anything to do with any of that, if you ask me, I can give you a list of 500 things that I'd want. And my wife says I'm hard to buy for. But my wife, when I ask her what she wants,
she can't answer.
She can't answer what she wants, and she'll flip back and forth between saying she wants one thing or another, and she'll do it for days. And she'll go, "Well, I don't want that now. I want this." And then 2 days later, she flips back and wants the other thing. But the thing is, they're so expensive that I can't buy both of them. Mm-hmm. So I can only buy one, but she can't make up her mind which one she wants. And I want to get her something, but I don't want to get her the one that, because we've already established that if I get her something that she doesn't necessarily want, she goes, "Oh, that's nice. But what about this?"
Right.
Yeah.
So no, you're not alone. Support group. We're gonna start one up. Hashtag women don't appreciate gifts. Hashtag and we got this. Okay. So, in the effort of keeping this channel clean and making sure we don't say anything wrong, I want to bring up our sponsor today, which is all about keeping stuff clean. It's Dasa Naturals, all natural handmade soap that will change the way you experience your cleaning routine. All of the soaps are made with small batches to ensure the quality and attention to detail. They might not be perfect, but that is the beauty of it. The promise is to deliver a product made with simple ingredients that you recognize and are good for the planet. Because what you put in your skin does make a difference. DasaNaturals.com. You can find them online on their website, or you can go to social media at Dasa Naturals. Awesome. So, I got a question for you guys.
All right.
What was your guys' best Christmas memory?
Oh.
If you can't pull that one off, what do you like the most about Christmas? Or you can share both.
I do have one. It was actually the first time I came to the U.S. In 2011. Me and my brother and my parents we went to Orlando. It was the week before Christmas.
Orlando, 407 represent.
All right. So, bro, you don't have to pretend you're from the hood. Like, just don't.
I try.
All right.
Trying to get some street
So,
cred.
Nothing crazy happened. It was just a new experience for me. It was my first time, in the U.S. And because I've been in different countries in South America, but it's kind of the same culture or the same way things work.
The same style that they do it.
Yeah.
Right.
But first time I came here, it was just different. And I went to the theme parks. I went to SeaWorld and a couple others I don't remember. But it was really fun, and we had a great time. We really enjoyed fast food, and it was just like a good memory.
It was very different from what you were used
to. It was, and I was with my family, so it was awesome.
What about you, Brad?
Well, since you posed the question, I've been kind of thinking about this, but There's not necessarily one year that sticks out in my mind, but one of the cool